Hey, welcome to the Jamaica Basketball Project. My name is Rick Turner. I am the head coach of the Jamaica national team as well as national coordinator, and appreciate you jumping in and checking this out and being part of the live stream today. Also, if you're watching on the replay, appreciate you doing that as well and spreading the word to everyone you know, all your friends and people that may have an interest in basketball, may have an interest in Jamaica, may have an interest in Jamaican basketball. Spread the word and let people know about what we're doing. Our goal is to take a team for the first time ever to the Olympics in Paris in 2024. And we need everyone with an interest to be a part of that. It's going to be a heavy lift for us, but we think we can do it. And throughout the process here, we've talked to a lot of different people involved with Jamaica basketball. So many of them players with hopes of gaining one of those precious roster spots. And the gentleman that we speak to today is no different. We are here a little bit early, and it's because we're back in France talking to a man who's been playing professional basketball for a few years now, and we're going to catch up on his journey and his story, and I'm excited to talk to him. I'm going to bring him in here now, and I'm going to tell you that I've been practicing this all day long, and it's Tyran deLattibeaudiere. How did I do?
Almost close. deLattibeaudiere.
Okay.
deLattibeaudiere.
Dear.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I've been practicing all morning. That's as good as, and then I even fumbled it then. That's okay. I'm not the first, right?
No, many people mess it up, you know. Even my teammates in college, they messed it up. But thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, man. How are things over in France? Lightening up a little bit now?
Yeah, things is getting back to normal. Everyone is moving around, but you cannot move more than 100 kilometers. So maybe an hour and a half drive. You can't go further than that.
Yeah, we talked to Ricardo Alemán last week, and he was saying that for a while, I think it's lifted now. You had to have permission to go outside.
Yeah, I got 130 euros fine for going outside when it just started without the paper.
Oh my!
So yeah, and they moved it from paper to the app.
Yeah, so it's a little easier now to fill that out and get out and about.
Yeah, but you don't need it now. You don't need it now.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about your team. Tell me about the team that you played with this last year and where things stand with them. Are you a free agent? You're out looking for a new one, or where are you currently?
Team is Tyran deLattibeaudiere. I'm in the north of France. They say it's the worst part of France, but it's like a small town called Dinan. It's okay, you know, it's cold and boring, but I'm a free agent. I'm done. I'm in the second division called Pro B. We finished 7th place. You know, last season they were almost relegated, but this year we had a great year. I think we had a shot at winning it because, you know, all the top teams we beat them, but because we had a lot of young players who were inconsistent, you know, we dropped down to 7th. But all the top teams, they were scared of us. They didn't want to see us in the playoffs.
Talk about that for a second, because we've got people in Jamaica, people like Omar Barnes saying hi. Willie London.
Barnes.
Wow. Yeah. But anyway, there's also people that watch in the States that may not be aware of the European way of playing with the relegation. And you mentioned it, that your team was on the brink of maybe being relegated. Talk about what exactly that is, because that's from a U.S. standpoint. There's nothing in the U.S. that simulates that. Tell people what relegation is.
Yeah, in Europe, there's normally multiple levels, and in the top level, first divisions, if the bottom two teams normally get relegated in every league. So if you're in first division and you're in the bottom two at the end of the season, you go down to second division. If you're in second division and you get relegated, you're in the bottom two, you get relegated to third division, and you have to work your way up. The winner move up in each division every year.
Yeah, I think that's a cool way of doing it. I can imagine the NBA with almost two 16-team divisions with a relegation. I mean, there's so much money involved that they would never do that, because the bottom 16 teams wouldn't get the same draw, so they wouldn't share in the same revenue pot. But it would be a cool way to do it, I think.
It's fun because whenever like the season, sometime in the season, like you'll be negotiating contracts and teams will like, oh, we don't have a budget, and try to, say they ain't got the money and everything. And then once the teams start losing, then they start importing guys like crazy, paying them an arm and a leg just because they want to stay in the league. Because if they go down, they lose sponsorship, and that's money. So they try to they'll break the bank just to try to stay up. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny though, but in NBA, they money's not a problem in the NBA, so I don't think that will work in America.
I don't think so either, but it would be it would be an incentive to get those bottom teams to get competing a little quicker.
I think the NBA should have like a mid-season tournament type thing, since the NCAA is basically losing a lot of popularity. The NBA or the G League should have like a tournament, to get the fans, riled up or excited about basketball again.
Yeah, no, I agree too. I know they're talking about, I've seen some reports recently that they're talking about doing a 16-team tournament to just try to kind of end out this 2020 season. And if they can ramp that up quick enough, that's something that might be possible, which I think would be pretty cool, because there really are, there's probably six teams in the NBA that could compete in a tournament style tournament to win a championship. Both LA teams, obviously Milwaukee, Toronto, probably Utah, maybe Denver.
I don't know. It's a tournament. Anything can happen. Dame Lillard showed that he comes in clutch. So if LA or one of those teams, any of the LA teams run into Dame Lillard and he just go off and go crazy like how you do sometimes, it's a possibility that they can get knocked out. Tournaments are unpredictable.
Yeah, but that was,
you never know.
And that was the thing about Lillard, though. That's what they talked to him about, playing even if his team didn't qualify for that tournament. Would he want to play? And he had mentioned, I don't know if you saw this piece of news or not, but he had said if they don't have a chance to be in the playoffs or be in a tournament, that he's not even going to play at all. So who knows? So Tyran, Tyran, tell me about.
You're basically telling who's a warrior to train for nothing. Yeah.
Sorry, we've got a little bit of a delay here, so I think we're both trying to work through it, and that's so just bear with us. But tell me a little bit about kind of growing up in Jamaica and your basketball background. As so many guys we've talked to on this program, they came to basketball kind of late, and you were telling me you didn't start playing until you were 17 years old.
Yeah, I started late, like until I'm 17, my senior year of high school. I'm from Kingston, downtown Kingston, specifically went to Tivoli Garden High School. That's where I picked up basketball, my senior year. Tivoli has a good tradition with basketball. We have a good NBL team, the Tivoli team. They won a couple of times. So there's a couple of guys from Jamaica who receive scholarships from Tivoli that received scholarships also. So upon like finishing my senior year, I was thinking about what I want to do with my life. My mom told me I should learn a trade. So I had some friends who played basketball, and I had a growth spurt, and they invited me to play. And I went grudgingly, and I saw one of my friends dunk, and that's what got me hooked on basketball. That same year, after I played, I went to jump ball that summer. That's where I met you, and you guys are making a big deal out of my hands, saying my hands was big, and I got player of the week. I got my first ball from jump ball, and I got a bag with a bottle and some other stuff in it. And from there, I just worked at it, and I got a scholarship and left the island and went to Vincennes University. And then after Vincennes, I went to Lamar. Played 1 year, and then I came overseas. I started in Spain, and then Spain, Switzerland, and 2 years in France.
Tell me about Vincennes, because there's a Jamaica connection there. There's been a lot of kids, I think, from the island go up to Vincennes. Is that a junior college or is that a 4-year school?
No, it's a junior college. And yes, there's a connection with Coach Todd Franklin. But before I got to Vincennes, there was a guy that went to Vincennes to Southeast Illinois with Todd Franklin, because he was at Southeast the year before I went to Vincennes. So he was at Southeast. There's a guy called Kemar McLeish. He went to Southeast Illinois, but for some reason the guy came back like after 2 weeks or something, and rubbed the coach wrong. So when I got to Vincennes, to that coach, it was hell for me because the coach is known for being crazy. So they told me like he was crazy, and I just got to tough it out. So I just toughed it out, and I'm here still surviving.
Well, that's kind of been a theme, right? Of guys that we've talked to that are playing professionally. You've got to be a survivor. You've got to be a guy that has tough skin and can overcome difficulties. If you want to forge your way in professional basketball outside of the NBA, that's not an easy lifestyle, is it?
Oh no! And the coach at Vincennes, Todd Franklin, he was preparing me for that, though. I give him a lot of credit for that, even though sometimes I think he went overboard. But it was tough. It was tough. A lot of time I get in trouble, and I gotta get up at 6 a.m. to run on the treadmill. And a lot of practicing, we just doing sprints, and I'm not used to it. I come from Jamaica where we practice at one time for the day at night, and or sometimes 2 times a week. And we're in Vincennes, I got to go to class. Then after class, I got to go to study hall and practice. So sometimes I go to bed late. I normally like to sleep, and you got to get up early, like 6 a.m. to go to breakfast every morning. So your sleep is limited, so you got to go to bed early. And if you miss it, it's hell. It's hell. And I'm a rebel, so I get in trouble a lot.
So, hey, Lamar University. Tell me about Lamar University. That's Division I basketball. It's a high level of play. What was that experience like going from junior college?
Lamar, and it was up and down because I only played 1 year at Lamar. My first year, I got to Lamar. I got recruited by Pat Knight, who was the son of Bobby Knight. And I went there. I was like really one of the top recruit because at Vincennes, we went to the Final Four, and we had a lot of success. We had like 10 Division I players on the same team. So at Vincennes, nobody played a lot of minutes, So when I got to Lamar, I was supposed to be the man. And I was bragging, talking smack because I was the best player. But the NCAA had other plans. And I had to sit out a year, and everybody teased me. Like, oh, you're the ball boy, you're the manager, But my second year at Lamar, where I got to play, I did well, averaged 13.7 points and like 7 rebounds. And I got newcomer of the year. I got all second team. I got all defense team. I got a lot of trophies, and I got an opportunity to play in Spain. But Lamar was fun, man. College is fun. I'm not gonna lie. I had a great time. I learned a lot of things. So I have no regrets with that.
Would you say that that sitting out that year, you said you took some grief from some people probably joking around, but it had to be a little bit humbling at least. And it sounds to me like maybe at that point in your life, you needed a little humbling. Is that fair to say?
Honestly, I have a crazy ego, so I wasn't humble at all. I was just mad because I'm watching the game and I'm like, oh, I can't help the team because that year I didn't play. We won 3 games. The program was atrocious. We won 3 games, and then the year I played, we was 500. We won 15 games with the same team. So it was 15 and 15. And when we played I major teams, they had to double team me. When I played I major teams, they double team me. So it was fun, man.
Yeah, obviously you bring an attitude on the court of kind of this is a compliment now, like a junkyard dog. No one is going to get the better of me. No one's going to beat me. I'm going to put my foot through you and go. Like, where did that come from? Where did that mentality come from?
It's growing up in Kingston. Kingston's rough. You got to be tough. You got to have tough skin. Guys tease you all the time, especially as an athlete and playing basketball. Because when I started playing basketball in Jamaica, I used to always be at the court by myself. And they always used to tease me, oh, you ain't got no girl or stuff like that, but I just laugh it off, and because they didn't see my vision, so I always laugh at them, but I keep doing my thing. And that's where it came from. And ever since then, I'm known for being like a tough guy. So whatever team I'm on, I'm basically the tough guy on the team. I'm basically an enforcer.
You're not backing down from anybody.
No, I play all 5 positions overseas. Sometimes I'm even playing point. Sometimes I'm playing center because I'm very skilled. So I just do everything.
So Willie London says he can't believe you started playing at 17 years old. You must have lived on the court. There's no way you just fall into the sport. It takes a lot of hard work in order to get to where you are.
Willie is joking, but yeah, I started at 17. At first, when I got into basketball, I just sit down. I used to go to the court in Tyran deLattibeaudiere at Bumps and just watch the guys play. I just watch, and they'll never let me play because I couldn't play, but I'll watch. And then one day they ran out of people and they say, just play. And I tried and I played and I just get better and better. And then, there's a few guys that work with me that's from Tivoli, a guy, Gary, he helped me. And all the local guys and the camps that I went to, Star Search, all the local coaches, Goofy, Skid, all of them guys, they give me pointers. I watch videos. Basketball is natural to me because I have big hands, I have long arms, and I was athletic. So it just came natural. They seen me down there when I was playing, even in Division 1, when I played D1 in Jamaica. That's the league Martin ran. I played 2 years there before I came to college, and my team was always good. We had a team called Denhamtown, and we was killing. I got MVP of that league before I got scholarship.
So, in terms of when you left Jamaica, you probably weren't exactly prepared for the change of growing up in Kingston, and now you've got school responsibilities along with the big basketball responsibilities. How long did that take for you to kind of get used to that basketball lifestyle of kind of having everything scheduled out for you?
It took me a year to adjust, to be honest. It took me a year. My first year, I didn't play much. I think I averaged like 4 points. Uh, Coach, that year I was coming in, so he's a little bit bitter from the previous guy that I told you about that was there. So I'm coming in, and he's mad because he has a career or history with Jamaican players, and this one guy came and tried to mess it up. So when I came in, I got ill, and those schedule. I'm not used to the routine of like getting up, going to class. I got to be at study hall. I got to go to practice after class. It's draining. So my first week, I fell asleep through one practice. Like this. The third day, I was so tired. I fell asleep all day, the entire day, and I got jail for that. I was running like crazy for that.
At what point did you start to think you were pretty good?
I have a crazy sense of confidence, honestly. I always think I was good. It's like just who I am. Nobody gonna tell me, oh, I can't do something. You challenge me, then I'm gonna prove that I'm right, and prove you wrong. I'm always like that since I was young.
Yeah, I get that. I guess what I'm getting at is, was there a point, and I love that. I love that confidence. I guess what I'm saying is, was there a point to where you you talked about the older kids wouldn't let you play, and then you finally got in there and showed them that you could a little bit. But is there any certain specific point to where you remember, I belong here, I belong with these guys, and you showed it to them? Whether that was in Kingston, whether that was in the States at Vincennes or at Lamar or in the pros, just that part to where you like, okay, yes, I belong here.
I would say it happens when I was back in Jamaica, where as what I said before, they didn't let me play, but once I started to grasp the game and I'm started playing and dunking on guys, and guys will move when I'm dunking, or people start saying, "Oh, that's Lati," or I would having 30 points games and 20-point games. That builds your confidence as a player. So during that time, I created a little monster where I can't, because I came from nothing. I came from the streets of Kingston, so I have to have that confidence. I have nothing else. I have nothing else. I grew up without shoes, So I grew up walking barefoot in the streets of downtown Kingston, poor, dirt poor, So I have to create that false sense of confidence. I can't I can't let people get to me because that's the only thing I have.
Yeah,
You
I love it.
now?
Yep, I do. I completely understand. Here's Willie says he saw you dunk on 4 players at Arnett Garden while they were all fouling him, didn't even notice. You remember that at all?
Yeah, that's when I first came back to Jamaica with Minto team, and we was playing the local team versus the Minto's foreign team, and yeah, I dunk on Nagash. Nagash,
where is he? Let's get him on here.
Nagash, if you are here, I got him. He always saying I didn't dunk on him.
Met him working out without shoes on the court in Tivoli. No shoes. You said that, man.
Yeah, man. Used to dunk without shoes, all of that. I grew up poor, so I had to build that false sense of confidence.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Cool. Okay, so now you're a pro, and you are getting paid to play basketball, at least theoretically. I know some of these places that we go to coach and to play, sometimes they pay you, sometimes they don't. Hopefully all of your checks have come through without problem, but you're a professional basketball player, and that means you have responsibilities, just like someone getting up and going to work in a factory. You have responsibilities to someone else. How is that? Has that changed anything in your game, either a passion or a love, or is it still fun for you, or do you see it as a job?
Actually, I still have the love for the game, honestly. The only time I lost the love for the game is twice. when I first got to Vincennes, and it basically becomes a chore because I had to get up every day and do a routine. It becomes tedious where, our attention span is not that good. So it basically feel like I'm in jail. But when I came overseas and I felt a little bit more free, because they let you expand your game. Because in college I didn't shoot 3-pointers. The coach wouldn't let me. When I come overseas, the coaches tell me you have to shoot 3-pointers. You have to do this. You have to be a complete player. So that's where the fun came back because I always wanted to do that. So I got the fun back from that. And then also the second time I lost confidence was because basically the agent problem with basketball with professional basketball. There's some bad agents, and I had a couple of them bad ones. I finally got some good agents, and things been rolling for me now since I got a good agent. But for like two years, bad agent. I had to fire 2 agents, and yeah, that's about it. So if you're
Well,
trying to go overseas, the most important thing is an agent, a good agent.
well, that's such a problem too, because the agent you have in a lot of ways holds his future in their hands, right? If they're not working for you and they don't have your best interest, then you're just kind of spinning your wheels.
Yeah, but I learned the business I was learning the business of basketball overseas. So I got my growing pains. So basically, agents doesn't work for you. Agents work for the team because agents have a roster of teams that they give players. So you might be signed to an agent, but he doesn't work for you because a lot of players they'll get cut and they're supposed to get all their money, but agents will negotiate with the team for a player to get like 3 months worth of money, and so they can save money to get another player. You understand now? Agents doesn't work for the players; they work for teams. Because in France, only French agents can bring players in France, not American agents. American agent had to be a partner with a French agent to get a player in France.
Okay,
And
I
that's
didn't
how it
know
is
that.
all over Europe. Basketball is monopolized. So agents work with teams, they don't work with players. The players sign with them, but in theory, but in practicality, the agents work for the teams.
So where do you see yourself moving forward? I would imagine you have a vision for what level of play you can, what league you'd love to be in, where you want to play. Like, what do you think is realistic for you, and what can you do to get there?
My biggest weakness as a player has always been my 3-point shot. That's my Achilles heel. So, but when I get hot, I'll score 5 3-pointers in a game, 6, and then sometimes it's inconsistent. So if I get my 3-point right, sky's the limit because I can do everything as a basketball player. Everything. There's nothing on a basketball court I cannot do. So that's the only problem I have. As in league, I see myself, I can play in any league, even the NBA. I just need a shot.
Yeah. We've talked about that. We've talked about that before. There's so many guys that are quality players that just haven't got the opportunity, that have all the talent to play at the NBA level, but for whatever reason, they just haven't had the opportunity. You probably fall into that category as well.
I think my situation is just I had 1 year of college. If I had 2 years, I'd probably get a shot because the 1 year I had some buzz after I played against a game against Indiana, and I was dominant in that game. I had like 18 points and probably 10 rebounds, and they couldn't stop me. So after that game, there was a lot of buzz about me. It was a televised game. I was doing well. I had a couple of dunks, highlights. Everything was going well, and there was a lot of buzz about me. And all the scouts was telling my coach, I'm just coming back on the radar because I skipped a year, so nobody know about me. and they just seen me, so they wanted to see me another year. And they were telling me I just need to develop the 3-point shot and come back. So I was fighting hard to get a second year, but the NCAA wouldn't give it to me. So that's why, I'm kind of tight about that with the NCAA, honestly. And then after that game, I got double teamed all the time. We played Iowa State, double team. We play SMU, I get double teamed. They were killing me in the double, on the double teams.
That's how you get those assist numbers up.
I was playing the 4 in college, man. I was bodying 7-footers. So, throughout of our basketball IQ at the time wasn't all that. In college, the basketball IQ is not at all that, especially at Lamar. It's a mid-major, low major. The talent around me, if I throw it to them, really wasn't going to do much.
So Willie wants to know, what are you averaging now?
I average 14.5 and 7 rebound, 7 point something rebound. And I'm second in blocks. I average like 1. Every league I've been in, either I'm first or second in blocks. Even in college, I was like top 10 in blocks.
I've also discovered about him that he's into cars. He wants to know about cars. Does your club provide you a car?
A car? Oh yeah, I have a BMW.
From the club?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So a couple weeks ago, maybe 10 days ago or so, I had Vashil Fernandez on the live stream. And
that's my guy.
Yeah, and he talked about Jamaica basketball a little bit. And I'm gonna pose to you the same question I posed to him, but I'm gonna play you his answer right now, and so you can think about it. But just kind of what we all can do to move Jamaica basketball forward. Let me play for you his Vashil's response, okay?
I think one of the biggest things is just getting everybody to buy into having that goal of we need to develop the sports as one, not as everybody feeling like they need their own slice of the pie. Yes, everybody wants that, but if we do that together, it's going to make a bigger impression than if everybody is trying to do their own thing.
What what are your thoughts as a guy that
together it's going to make a bigger impression?
Got a little echo there.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about moving Jamaica basketball forward?
As you talk about Bashir, I remember like the first time we both was going to National Stadium together. I met him on a bus going to National Stadium. The 7-foot guy that can't even fit in the bus. We both was just starting out playing basketball. We're going to National Stadium training, national team training on Saturdays at the stadium. But my thoughts, I agree with Bashir. It seems like nobody is together. I don't know the plan for the national team. There's not a clear-cut plan. Like, okay, we want to go to 2024 Olympics. What are the steps? Let everybody be on the same page, and let's build back the basketball. Especially from growing up. We used to have star search camps where a lot of scouts comes, where a lot of players get opportunities. I go back and I don't even see scouts. It's like different factions, like bringing players up. Not everybody together. It's like this faction is bringing up players. This faction is bringing up players. Everybody is just separated. It's like they fighting like crab in a barrel thing. That's how it seems.
Yeah, I would say in regard to like a plan, if anyone's interested, I've posted the plan that I presented to Jabba before I got the position, a business plan, and it's on JamaicaBasketball.org. If anyone wants to check that out, there's a plan on there. There's a budget on there of kind of a bare bones budget of what we would need just to kind of to get a team moving forward. There's so much to do, though, as you mentioned. It's building a youth program. It's placing players overseas. It's bringing teams into Jamaica to play Jamaica local teams. And I mean, there's just so many opportunities to grow the sport. It's just kind of getting one foot in front of the other. And almost in some ways, it's been so just sort of held up for the last few years that it's almost like starting from scratch again. What about you, Tyran? What's your plan after basketball?
There's a demand for basketball. Like, people in Jamaica love basketball. My plan after basketball, I'm not thinking about my plan after basketball as yet.
That's good.
I've been messing around with some, side hustle, but my plan, I'll think about that in like 2 years. As in taking care of my family. In 2 years' time now, who's a
I love that. You're focused.
You hear me?
Yeah, we're on this delay, which makes it a little tough. Before I let you go, tell me what it feels like to put on that Jamaica uniform. Tell me what it would feel like to represent Jamaica on the biggest stage in the world. What it would mean for you, personally, and what you think it would mean for the community.
For me personally, it's always an honor to play for your country, and I would love to play in the Olympics. Representing Jamaica. I always see the Olympics, and it's always track and field. So if we can get a basketball team there, I think we can do something. Cause we have the talent. We have enough talent to go there. We can get there if we come together, because we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of bigs, we have a lot of wings, but we ain't got guards. We're gonna need guards though. We don't have a lot of guards. I can tell you that for sure. We don't have guards.
Yeah, that is definitely on the list of development, right?
It'll be an honor for me to play for Jamaica for sure, and I'll put on a show for sure. I came down there a few years ago and played against the college teams. I tried to put on a little bit of show. They seen me play, when I came back.
So tell me what you would tell a kid in a similar position as you were, back when you were 13, 14, 15 years old, and you had dreams to do the things that you've done and see the places you've seen. What can you tell these kids? Because there's kids that are interested in this and interested in your story that don't see a pathway forward. What would you tell them?
Honestly, at 15, I didn't see this. I didn't see this. I was just trying to get opportunity when I started. Like, when I was in high school at 15, 16, I'm still trying to figure out what I can do, who I am, But as for a young man who's 15, 16, trying to be where I'm at, dream big, dream big, work, don't care what nobody say, because their opinion is irrelevant. Just dream big. If you want to play in the league, dream of playing in the league, but work also, work. Like, while I was dreaming of playing in college, and because I didn't dream of playing overseas or playing the NBA, I was dreaming of getting a scholarship and getting an education. I thought that can help me, and here I am. So just dream big, work, because I worked. When I was in Jamaica, with busted out shoes, I was working. Everybody who knows me know that I'm always at the court. I'm always working. Everybody knows that. I work.
Who are some of the influential coaches for you down in Jamaica that kind of set you on a path to where you are? The guys that had an impact on you from a coaching standpoint? I don't know if we're a little delayed here. Oh yeah, we are.
Orlando
Okay.
Brown, Orlando Ebert. We call him. You hear me?
Yep.
You hear me?
We got you.
Hello?
I've got you. I hear you.
You hear?
Yep.
You hear me?
I do, Tyran. You got me?
And Ebert. He's the one that, like, when I was in Tivoli Gardens, you know, he took the time to show me. Like, Orlando Ebert is my guy. He's from Tivoli Gardens. Coach Kidd, for sure. He's the first guy that told me that, like, when I came to jump ball, I met him for the first time. He told me, yeah, let me see if I can go on my phone.
Okay.
It's still
I
not
think
working.
he's gonna.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm gonna go on my phone. I'm going on my phone to see if I can get that.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna take him off here and just apologize for that. But when you're working on Wi-Fi and you're talking to guys halfway around the world, you run into some technical difficulties. But we'll see if we can reconnect with him. We tested this out, and the laptop had a little bit of a delay. His phone, the camera didn't work on his phone, so we decided to do it with a camera instead of an audio only thing. Want to remind you, by the way, that you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or even Periscope. We're also podcasting these, so it usually takes about a day to get it over to the podcast. But if you want to listen to what we're doing, you can listen to the podcast on iTunes or on Spotify or on Google Play, which is a pretty cool option. So, the other thing I want to talk to you guys about is, and because I see some of the conversation, and there was in the chat here, and there was some confusion, and there's been confusion with people I talked to about eligibility and the FIBA rules for eligibility. And a couple of years ago, FIBA changed the eligibility rules to where naturalized players aren't eligible the way they used to be eligible. So if you weren't born in Jamaica, if you don't actually have a Jamaican birth certificate, then you are not eligible to play under FIBA rules, with one exception. Each team can have one naturalized player. So that changes things a little bit. So if a guy's parents were born in Jamaica, but he grew up in the States and is an American citizen, whether or not he has a Jamaica passport is irrelevant. You have to be born in the country. And in fact, I'm going to try to, if I've got that here, I'm going to put that rule up. It's right there. The first part is a little blocked out. But basically it says each team may only have one player on its team who has acquired the legal nationality of that country by naturalization. So if you obtained a Jamaican passport before you were 16 years old, if you were born in the US and have Jamaican parents, and you obtained your passport before you were 16, you'd be fully eligible. Otherwise, you essentially have to be born in Jamaica. So that sort of changes the pool of guys that are eligible to play. There's some inside baseball a little bit. We are working on an appeal on a few guys who have previous national team experience, but wouldn't fall into that category. So So I mean, that's the deal on that. And I know it's caused some questions with a lot of guys who have expressed an interest to be a part of it, and I love that so many people want to be a part of it. But the way the FIBA rules have it currently, that's the way they're written. So there's only one naturalized spot on each team. So anyway, we will. I think we're going to just say goodbye to Tyran right now, unless I'll try to bring him back. How's that? Is that any better? No, doesn't look like it. Okay, so we'll thank him off the air, but appreciate everyone checking in. So impressed by everyone I've met on this live stream so far, and just the quality of character of so many of the people that are involved with Jamaica basketball from a player standpoint. So many of the guys that we've talked to overseas and that are currently playing professionally, and of course kids that are just finishing college or in the middle of their college careers. Just impressed with everyone I've spoke to, and Tyran is one of those guys as well. Just a super impressive guy, and it's obvious that he's a winner and confident, and take nothing off of anybody. And so those are the type of guys you want to surround yourself with. So again, thanks for checking this out. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope will be on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. Also want to remind you that later today, another Jamaica basketball legend, Samardo Samuels, is going to be on with the interview guys. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock in Jamaica. And Gary and Willie are going to talk with Samardo. And so check them out. That's on YouTube in the Jamrock interviews. Check them out. They've been doing an awesome job as well. So we'll talk to you probably next week. We'll shoot for Monday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And we'll see you later. Thanks.